Hi. Today I am going to look at and kind of review these JD Woodwinds custom parts and maybe kind of make like a buyer's guide almost. The goal is we're going to look at the alto clarinet. I have a LeBlanc Noble, beautiful little friend. I have to clean it. I bought it used, of course. Beautiful little friend, alto clarinet. It's one of my favorite clarinets to play. And the mouthpiece I'm using right now is the JD Height. This is the first mouthpiece that I'm gonna do, and we're gonna go through pretty much everything that he offers for alto clarinet. I have his mouthpiece, I have his neck, not the adjustable one, and I have the bell with the peg. So this is just like the standard setup as it comes when you purchase the instrument. If you were buying a new alto clarinet or what have you, this is what you're getting. Some of them have a peg. Probably not, but some of them do. So I'm just gonna play it, get a baseline of how it feels. I mean, I've already played on these things, so it's not my first time, but what I'm going to do is just add some variants. We're going to try the mouthpiece only, we're going to try the neck only. I'm probably not going to try the bell only because most of what your sound comes from is your reed, your mouthpiece, your neck. If you have those three things right, the bell's not going to make too big a difference. That's just like extra preference. And it's the most expensive thing he offers. So if you're trying to sound better on alto, I would maybe imagine that you're going to start with the mouthpiece. But let's just get a baseline. Maybe you hear it on video, maybe you don't. And then the literature I'm playing right now in alto is Molly on the Shore. So just play a little bit of that because it's what I have memorized right now. Okay, I messed up. And I'm not willing to go back and fix it. But that's about the baseline. The instrument really won't change how it feels to play, obviously. We're not changing the instrument, but we're changing the entry point of our sound. And of course, like if you're not voicing with a lower tongue than clarinet, like everything's just got to be down on alto. Like you're saying, and that's where you're going to find your best sound. Okay, so first change we're going to make, and I'm using the Van Doren Optimum for everything. Of course, you could use just like a Rovner. And this is how I played my alto for quite a bit. And I have two. I have the LeBlanc Noble, and I have a Kohler. The Kohler is really nice. It sounds awesome. So this is the mouthpiece. I put a mouthpiece patch on it. It comes with one. He has like a little tape one, but that's not going to hold up. It's great for trying it out though. So this is the mouthpiece. I love this mouthpiece. It really kind of focuses in. He says it makes it sound a bit more like a basset horn on his website, and I tend to agree. It does sound a little bit more focused. So we're going to lose the height mouthpiece and switch over to this. So this is the first big change. And honestly, if you're trying to sound better on alto clarinet, probably the first place you're going to go is your mouthpiece and your reeds. And right now I'm playing on D'Addario Reserve 3+ reeds, and I don't have variants on reeds, so it is what it is. But this is only his mouthpiece. Which already, like, it turns that sound more into like a basset horn. It feels like it plays more like a bass clarinet almost. And the tone is less fuzzy, I think. And it may be even better with just threes and not 3+. But I don't have that variable to test. no metronome, no breathing. I haven't warmed up yet today. This is my first sound was at the beginning of the video. It is what it is. This is like a welcome change. If I was going to budget myself out, if I was a band director, maybe looking to make my alto clarinet player sound better, because you should have one in your band, by the way. I really strongly believe that if you have a large enough ensemble and you're a high school director, your top ensemble should have at least one alto clarinet player, maybe two if you're playing like Granger or something. Like you can spare it, get the instrument repaired, and then like grab one of these mouthpieces. This instantly makes the instrument like it still holds that same quality of the alto clarinet, but it just sounds so much better. It's just more focused. Change the variable. We go back to the height. We go back to the height mouthpiece, and we're going to use his neck. And I'm not going to do only the bell. Well, maybe I say that, but maybe I should. I don't know. So this is the height mouthpiece with his neck. I will say this neck, even though it's for the noble, I think it is maybe just, yeah, it was like a little tiny bit longer. I kind of wish I invested into the adjustable one, and maybe that's something I'll do in the future, but right, like far in the future, because I already have this, and there's no reason to get a new one. So this is the height mouthpiece, we're back on that, and the neck only. So now the neck is the only variable. And the neck just makes the sound more robust. So I really feel that it makes it just sound much more robust and even less stuffy. So we kind of lose a little bit of that laser focus because we're changing the entry point back to the height. But the sound is still great. We're changing this beginning of the instrument, and that's 90% of your sound. Probably 95% of your sound is what's happening at the very beginning of your instrument. Oh, I'm so bad. Okay, so this is the neck. I think this is another like really great combo. Okay, yeah, so if I'm a band director, I'm looking at either getting this mouthpiece only or the neck only. I will say that if you're going to invest in the neck only, especially as a director, maybe you're going to want to go with his adjustable neck, because you want to be able to tune the instrument like reliably and not just like pull out a little bit at the neck. And I'm going to say the Noble is probably one of the nicer instruments. You're hopefully in a band room where you have a LeBlanc. He does offer it for every alto clarinet, except for Kohlert, which is why I got this thing. Kohlert, he needs to spend some time with the instrument. And he'll make it for you, and there's no problem with that. But I just kind of ran up against time where I didn't have time to ship it and then wait. It was actually faster to just get an even nicer instrument, and I'm just renting out the Kohlert. So this is the Noble with the neck. This is a winning combo. I'm going to say that I would rank this above just the mouthpiece with the original neck, because these, quite honestly, the neck is probably the weakest part of every alto clarinet. It's super stuffy. It makes the instrument just feel like you're playing through a brick. Even with the mouthpiece, I'm going to say that mouthpiece makes a world of difference. And I should have wrote it down before. I'm pretty sure price point on the mouthpiece is less than the neck. So we're extremely budgeted. You go for the mouthpiece. If you have just a little bit more to play with, go for just the neck. All right, I said I wasn't gonna do it, but we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do just the bell, just for that variant, so you can see the bell's the most important part. And if I'm a high school band director, I'm not buying this bell. So like this is just for personal use, people that are gonna do this on their own. So we're gonna keep the original beginning of the instrument, and this is kind of just to drive a point home that you shouldn't be upgrading your bell unless you're really interested in that. I'm gonna say there's not really a whole lot wrong with having this, but my reasoning for the bell initially, and what I sustain my reason is you just want to get this peg, and I think it helps project and maybe clear up a little bit of the stuffiness of the low notes, which is good. I like that. And it opens up just more opportunities for literature when you sound better, because people want you to play alto clarinet. So like the further in the range that your instrument sounds better, I think, and people know that you sound good, then you have maybe more opportunity. And of course, most of music is just who you know. So it makes the low notes just fly out of the instrument. It looks awesome. It's really cool. My favorite part about it is the peg. Not even that it clears up the low notes. I usually am not only playing alto. So if I play alto, it's going to be alto plus bass. I don't usually do alto plus clarinet because I'm primarily a bass clarinet player. So alto goes into my bass stand, and bass comes out of the bass stand, and it just rests here on the peg. I don't have to try to finagle something or lay it down on the floor. And then with the straight bell, you can actually use like a normal clarinet stand. Probably would be better to get a little bit of a larger one, or custom make your own. But this works. The only issue is it doesn't like go into the instrument, so it does have a little bit of give and it does wobble. So you just need to be careful. You don't want anything smaller than that K&M stand because it will fall. I've had my instrument like fall before, and I was lucky enough to just catch it. But like I touched it and it fell. So you just watch out. I like this combination of bell only, but I kind of like all of JD's stuff. No. Okay. That's me. Straight up, that's just me. It's not even the read. I just looked. I didn't like place it wrong. That's just me being terrible. Okay, so this, I like it. This is not a winning combo. The price on this is just too high for school to justify. And if I'm like if I'm a freelance musician, professional musician, what have you, this would not be my first upgrade to my alto clarinet. Don't do it. It's a good upgrade. No, I should leave it at the right height, actually. I don't know what I'm thinking. Okay, this will go back on. So now we're going to hear the neck and the mouthpiece. So this, I think, if you're upgrading two parts of your instrument, this is going to be the most common. You want the neck, you want the mouthpiece. This is how they work together. My biggest complaint, though, about this alto clarinet, and alto clarinets are just so different, so like this doesn't hold over to all of them, but the neck strap, like loop, being close to the thumb rest causes problems. Or the thumb rest, I'm an idiot. Being close to the F is a problem, because the string like gets, when you pull the instrument correctly, it just gets really close to your thumb, and like I feel it and I hate that. It's something I actually despise. I hate that. However, it's not a big issue, but as a matter of preference, I hate it. And that's just a me thing. And if I hate something about my instrument, I don't want it at all. Okay. So logically, this should make the instrument sound awesome. And this thing kind of sucks. Although, you know, the person is what makes the instrument sound good. So remember, equipment isn't everything. Actually, equipment is like almost nothing. You can take a crappy alto and sound okay. And then I'm kind of going to list out at the end, if you're looking for an alto, what you should be trying to purchase. Let's get the bell back. I almost didn't put the bell on. Put the bell back. It's back aligned. Something just feels wrong. Okay. So that, if I'm a professional clarinet player and I need to play alto clarinet, this just won't cut it. The height mouthpiece is actually good, and of course mouthpieces are going to be different for everybody. So like if this mouthpiece doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. It just is what it is. But the neck, like you could sound good, most people sound good on this height mouthpiece. It's just kind of a matter of finding one. They're not rare. It's just a matter of finding one. It's good. It's a really great mouthpiece. There's nothing wrong with it. But I took the gamble and just went after this one, and I sound good on it, I think. So this is like, if I'm a professional clarinet player, this is maybe the setup I would go after. The JD Woodwind mouthpiece and the neck. Again, the bell, like the exit point, that's not going to change a whole lot of your sound, of your tonality. But this is 95% of your sound, maybe more. Okay, so let's. Close. Okay, so of course, if you are professional, maybe if you're high school and you have like one alto clarinet, this is a great option. And this is actually a really great option. You don't need to worry about any nonsense. This clears up your sound. This makes your like laser focused tone, and like just it clears up a lot of the issues that alto clarinet has. Oh, and then you have to actually sound good. Oh. Not sure why D sounds like a little leaks. Make sure that's aligned correctly. It's just D. Weird. Okay. So maybe get that looked at. Maybe it's something not sealing correctly. It was not like that in yesterday's rehearsal. Okay. So now we'll do the whole thing. Add the bell. This is how I use mine. My alto clarinet looks a little goofy. It looks a little silly. Maybe even a little quirky. There it is. In all its glory. The Queen Noble clarinet. Beautiful. Beautiful as she is. With a nice, wonderful peg. And then I don't have to wear a silly little neck strap. The Jazz Lab stays on, by the way. Not really. It's just so good. It's everything like you could want out of an alto clarinet as somebody that maybe hates alto clarinet. And before I discovered these parts, guess what I thought? I was on the hate train of alto clarinet. I was not part of the alto gang. And then shout out to Plattsburgh Clarinet Choir and Margali, Matthew Banks, and Brett Newton. These people changed the way I think about alto clarinet forever. And then a short time later, I'm now making a review on beautiful parts from Jared DeLeon at JD Woodwinds. Yeah, no, this is awesome. So like, it's quite a bit of an expensive upgrade when you go all for it. For everything. But this is how I play my alto. This is what it looks like. This is how it sounds. And so just, again, if you're a professional, maybe you don't play enough alto to warrant this. But this, I think, is fully justified. And even the neck, I think, is like mandatory at this point. Because it exists and it makes the instrument sound better, the neck is mandatory. Mouthpiece is like the step up, and it's just going to make it a little bit more focused. Here's silly little frisky little Granger. Well, it is what it is. Most of that passage anyway, and like a lot of alto clarinet passages, I suppose, are going to exist like up here. So the bell really doesn't change a whole lot of anything. Yeah, and if only I was not like terrible at alto clarinet. It would be like a world better. I don't know. Going without a warm up. That doesn't mean anything on the beginning sounds with this thing. I don't have the facilities to do a blind comparison because I'm lazy and don't edit my videos. So no blind comparison. But I will say straight up, my priority list, if I was a band director needing an alto clarinet, wanting an alto clarinet in my band, which you should, truly you should, get the neck. That would be your highest priority. He makes them for every instrument. Just know what instrument you have. There's no way you're a band director. You don't know what's in your band room. And if you don't know what's in your band room, then maybe it's time to choose a different job or something. I don't know. Not a dig at anybody, but like you should at least know, like, oh yeah, we do have an alto clarinet. I don't know what brand. Let me take a look. And then like identify what it is and purchase yourself a neck. He makes them for every alto. Like the one in your band room is probably a Bundy. And he makes a neck for that, and it makes that instrument sound great. Here's my priority list if you are maybe a professional looking for a used alto at this point. But one, unless you won the lottery or you're filthy rich and you just have a lot of money to spend, you're not going to get this. But it is the best one. It is the Buffet Prestige RC Alto Clarinet. That's the best one. That's the one that Matthew Banks plays on, and that one is just a wonderful instrument. It is the best alto clarinet on the market. And I usually don't really like Buffet clarinets because their quality's kind of gone down recently. However, and that might be controversial, but that's just me. That's what I think, that's what I feel. The alto clarinet, the Buffet alto, is like the best one. There is not a better one. After that, so like now you're looking at used clarinets because LeBlanc doesn't do anything anymore. Rest in peace. LeBlanc, the LeBlanc alto clarinet is probably your best bet. The Noblet is basically just the LeBlanc. This is, if you can find one of these, you should get one of these. It's probably less expensive, and it is just as good. It is the same instrument, and like to the point that on the website he makes it for the LeBlanc, the Noblet, and the Vito, I'm pretty sure. But definitely the LeBlanc and the Noblet. And like all of these parts, the bell and the neck, which have to be custom to each instrument. I think they're the same. The specs should be the same. And then also the big question I've always had about Noblet, or any alto clarinet for that matter, is why is there a spot for a lyre? Who the hell is marching this instrument? Nobody. And like, why don't you have your own music stand? What the hell are you putting on there? So like, I'm looking for like a little funny little jewelry thing to make it cute. Usually I put like googly eyes on my instrument. I have a little pair of googly eyes that you can put on your finger, and I just hang it there so my instrument's looking at the conductor. This is useless. I don't know, on any alto. After that, the quality significantly goes down. Then you're really looking at the Vito. So your priority is LeBlanc, Noblet, Vito. The Vito isn't bad. Pretty sure that one is also all plateau keys. Your goal is to have all plateau keys. I'm kind of weird. I really like my Kohler. I don't perform on that one really at all anymore. The Kohler is probably sounds better. It's a little older. It has a much more rich sound, but it just is what it is. But that one's all open holes. So like, if you don't like open holes, and most people don't, it's because the spread is weird. It's just weird, and you have to be really accurate. But it sounds better by a lot, so it's worth it. However, your priority list, especially if you're a director or you don't play alto clarinet enough. I'm making this video at school. 10 minutes left of my planning period. If you don't play alto clarinet enough, then it's not worth. You need the plateau keys. And so far, all the ones I've named have plateau keys. So now we're gonna get into like the non-plateau keys. No, I'm a liar. The Yamaha isn't bad. The Yamaha alto clarinet isn't bad. Although you're not really gonna find a lot of used ones. If you do, good luck. Congratulations. Although I will say I'm not a fan. That's why I'm ranking it much lower. The Yamaha alto clarinet, it's okay. I'll say it's just okay. It's nothing special. I would rather play on the LeBlanc all day long. The Noblet is also just, it is the LeBlanc all day long. And it has a little giblet keys, which is so nice. They look silly. Look at that. Look at it. Okay. And then after that, the Bundy. That thing is terrible, but it's reliable. If it exists in your band room, get it repaired anyway. Get one of these necks. And then it just has the weird combination of some keys are open and some keys are plateau, which is stupid. I don't know why that exists. Just pick one. Like, whatever. And then after that, nothing's really worth it. The Selmer alto clarinet is kind of terrible. That just is what it is. It's kind of terrible. No, it's not kind of, it's very terrible. It's just not in tune. Not even close. So you have to work a lot more to get the same results as everything about, even the Bundy. The Bundy is better than the Selmer, which doesn't make sense, but it's true. So yeah. I went around after this clarinet choir and just played on a bunch of alto clarinets from different high schools, and tried to figure out what I liked. The Bundy was much better than the Selmer, and then everything after that is probably not worth it. Unless you really like open holes, I wouldn't seek out a Kohler, and I don't know where you would even find one of those, to be honest. I was lucky enough to even find one. So that's pretty much it. There's nothing left about alto clarinet to be discovered. This is this thing is a beautiful endeavor, and more band directors should be open to having it in their band, especially because the instrument itself is good. We just put the worst people on it, and then we have terrible unkempt instruments that don't sound good anyway. maybe I can play and sound good. We'll find out. One last little jig before we. All right, here we go. No, it's not. It's me. I suck today. I needed a more thorough warm-up. Who cares? It is what it is. Peace out. See you next time.